I had a simple idea: build a lamp with 100 LED filaments where each layer rotates to create a unique pattern. Turns out it wasn't that simple, and I ran into a ton of problems along the way. So in this video I will show you how exactly I built it and how I fixed all the problems related to it, which was quite fun actually. As always, everything started with the soldering of the main PCB. It is powered by USB-C and has two integrated circuits. One is a stepper motor controller, and another one is just 8-bit microcontroller, which generates commands to control the rotation of the lamp. To solder it I used a hot plate, but when I put the PCB on it, it was already heated to 180 degrees. And just guess what happened. The flux in the paste underneath components started evaporating quite fast, and components started popping out like popcorn. Yeah. Well, luckily I had another one, which I hadn't put on the hot plate yet. This one I heated up gradually, which gave a much better result. But it was only the beginning of fun. After soldering I realized that the motor was not working. Apparently because at my age I still can't read. The datasheet for the motor controller clearly says minimum operating voltage is 8 volts. Obviously I was supplying it with 5 volts from USB-C, which is 3 volts short. So I had to cut the power trace that powers the controller and use a DC to DC boost converter, which I bought in a shop nearby. So now I just have to connect its input to 5 volts and tune the output to be 10 volts. Nice. The motor I'm using to spin the section is a stepper motor with 2 phases and a full step of 18 degrees, which is not ideal because the rotation isn't very smooth. But the motor controller allows micro-stepping, which significantly improves smoothness. Regarding the torque it creates, by measuring it with my high-precision fingers, I can say that it is just enough. So the initial idea was to use spring contacts to deliver power to each section. Basically to build a sliding contact at each section. And here is where everything started going wrong. From the first try it kinda worked, but the connection wasn't reliable. Moreover, when moving clockwise it was stuttering, probably because the spring contact I was using was not ideal for the task. Also, I didn't use immersion gold finish for the PCB traces, which also worsened the result. Well, that's a problem for future me. For now, let me show you how all other sections are supposed to work. The key word in here, supposed. So each section is also a PCB and has a cutout with an angle of 45 degrees and a single pin. So the pin of the bottom section goes into the cutout of the upper section. Ideally, each layer should be able to freely move in the range of 45 degrees, which should result in a smooth transition from one position to another. Obviously, with the compressive force that the spring contacts create, the segments can't move freely, and the whole thing doesn't work as intended. Actually, it was quite dumb from my side to think it would work at the first place. So the contacts have to go. My next idea was to use wireless power transfer, as I did in the volumetric lamp video. So I ordered some 10-watt modules from AliExpress, but the coil diameter was a bit too small to fit into the place. That's why I had to make my own coils with a slightly bigger inner diameter. At that moment I was really hoping for it to work, because clearly speaking I was a bit frustrated. Do you think that smoke coming out of it is normal? So I double-checked the input voltage in the specifications and it wasn't the problem. Maybe the inductance of the coil I made was wrong. Well, maybe I'm doing something wrong again, or maybe those boards are just a piece of crap. Another reason why this idea kinda sucks is the position of the transmitter coil. It sits on top of the copper board with solid copper polygons, and around the coil there is a big piece of brass. Instead of transferring power to the receiver, it hits metal around, which is definitely not good. So another solution I was thinking of is a clock spring, like in a car steering wheel. But considering I have 25 segments and each moves 45 degrees, I would need at least 3 full turns to move the whole structure, which is doable, but not very easy to make, considering that I don't have a flexible PCBs, but only wires. What if my original idea with sliding contacts wasn't actually that bad? You know, even a good idea realized in a bad way sucks. So I started with the problem of contacts working in only one direction. I just took a spring from a pen, because what can be more springy than a spring itself? Huh? And then soldered some symmetrical contact to the top of it. Now let's come to the PCB. Ideally, those traces have to be as smooth as possible and have a gold surface finish so they don't oxidize. Well, I'm not going to order a new PCB with a gold surface finish, so I decided to try fixing the existing one. And it was a bit better now, but still not ideal. So if the solution is not obvious at the moment, maybe it's better to just proceed with other stuff. The solution might come later. To make this project possible, I needed a ton of PCBs. As always, I used PCBWay's manufacturing services for that, both to order PCBs and some metal parts. Once everything arrived, it was time for a lot of soldering. The brass part I'm using at the bottom of the lamp was also ordered from PCBWay. It was CNC machined from a solid piece of brass, which looks great and, most importantly, gives the lamp a solid base. So if you want to build projects similar to this but don't have all the tools, PCBWay can make pretty much anything you need. So if you're interested, the link is in the description. And thanks a lot to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. As I said, sometimes solutions come in the process of making something. So I just got an idea how can I power filaments on each section. Who forbids me to just use wires, actually? Each section rotates by only 45 degrees, so connecting them with a wire shouldn't be a problem. So it took me another half a day to prepare the wires and solder all the sections together. And finally it somehow worked. However, it still has the problem of those sliding contacts at the first section. While spinning it with my finger, I suddenly realized something. Why can't I just use the same motor I have but at the top? So that's what I started working on. A solution to all the problems at once. A solution that would allow me to get rid of sliding contacts and finally rotate the lamp the way I want and very smooth. And that is a reduction drive. The drive reduces one step from 18 degrees on the motor shaft to 0.8 degrees on that outer gear, which together with microstepping makes the lamp rotation quite smooth. That's actually my first time 3D printing gears, and I wasn't sure what the minimum gear module I could print with a 0.4mm nozzle. So at the beginning I started with a module of 0.5, the black one, which was not very good, comparing to the orange gear that I bought. Eventually I decided to go with a gear module of 1, and I was actually impressed with how good it ended up being. By the way, I'm not a mechanical engineer, so clearly speaking, I only have a general idea of what I'm doing. Probably it could have been made in many other, simpler ways, but that's just the way I did it. The most attentive viewers have probably noticed a small problem. How am I supposed to power the motor if it sits on top of the lamp and the brass shaft is solid? If I were using a pipe, it would have been easier just passing wires through it, but I guess, in my case, there is only one solution. The first try didn't go as planned, as I set up the vertical axis wrong. The second time though, it went almost as planned. Yeah, well, the result is not perfect because I was too optimistic and hoped that the clamping it the way I did it was a good idea. But during the machining it obviously rotated, so as you can see the groove changes angle along the path. In any case, it is some kind of groove, so now I can easily glue the wires in it. This video obviously wouldn't be complete without some grey glue, which I used to glue the wires. Now I had to replace the shaft and ideally not damage anything during the process. Regarding the bottom layer, which had sliding contacts, obviously I removed them and just soldered 2 wires to the base. Now the first section can't rotate and all the movement starts from the top. I also tried to spin it faster and slower, which results in slightly different patterns. Also, if you look closely at the lamp, you can definitely see that the LEDs at the top are a bit dimmer. That's due to a voltage drop on the wires that connect the filaments. Another thing, obviously all the gears I put at the top could have been added at the bottom instead, inside the brass base, for example. But initially I wasn't planning to add it, and there is just not enough space inside the base for it now. So in the next iteration I might do it. As always, this is only a prototype, so it's definitely not ideal. I would even say far from ideal, but still it looks very cool. If you watched up to this point, I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video and check my other ones, they are cool as well. Love you, bye.